right, we're live in studio again. A pleasant good afternoon, good evening to all the listeners that's or will be joining in today. We want to give a shout out to all the listeners in Jamaica, in North Carolina, in the United States, all over the world, all the fans. You guys are going to get an opportunity just to. We're going to go way back. We're just so happy. I'm just happy because I started doing probably late. You know, as a class year, first year class one student in Jamaica, and I just remember just watching TV all the time, and when we talk about high school on the women's side, if you don't know of the Turner sister, you're not from Jamaica. So we just want to say that I have the privilege, to personally met Inez on many occasions, and I'm just so delighted. I'm so excited just to really talk with her and just to get this. We're all this passion and this drive and this all God-given talent. We're gonna go way back, and so it's just a joy. So and the whole goal of this program is to inspire, educate, and motivate. So before we get into the program, I'm gonna hand it over to the former West Indies and States cricketer, Mr. Ian Thomas, the health and wellness specialist. All right. It it seemed like Ian, you're
Okay, guys, a great afternoon to you all. Wherever you are. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think you are freezing up a little bit,
Mike, you
Ian.
hear me?
We're hearing you, but you're freezing up a bit from our side. So not sure if you want to just exit and return real quick. Yeah, so he'll be back on it. So just gonna wait for him. But in the meantime, if you just want to give us a little 90-second preview of who is Inez Turner, just in real short version.
Oh wow! I don't know if I can take 90 seconds to talk about myself, but a second child of my mom and dad. Four girls in the family. Of course, you guys know about Yvette and Janice, and also people should know about Grace as well.
Yeah.
I have other sisters as well. I'm talking about the four from our side, from both from the marriage. But I do have another sister that used to run and all that good stuff. And so, it's just from a running family. And I think it comes from, just as I said, we're going to talk more about how we come to the surface from the farming family, and how my dad used to just wake us up in the morning and, just from scratch to way to big things in life, and it's just because of the right attitude and the right mindset and the grace of God and all that good stuff. So, I'll definitely when we get in, talking about more about Inez, but it's a whole lot about myself and my family and how God has blessed us, and just feeling a joy of grace. Just I'm very grateful. I'm truly happy with where I am in my life, and how I got started, and how I can motivate youngsters of my caliber, from a very poor family to someone who has uplifted themselves in the world only because of the right, um, as I said, the grace of God.
All right. Well, amen for that. I'm going to let Ian come, just go ahead and introduce himself. And I want to say a word of prayer. I don't want to forget about it. So Ian, please welcome yourself now.
Yes, I hope you guys are hearing me this time around.
Yes, loud and clear.
Great. So I know Ian must have said something while I was off about this wonderful lady here, Miss Inez Turner. We're pleased to have her here on the program with us, Ian and Ian. And before we fully welcome her from my end, I just want to welcome my viewers. We have have some die-hearted viewers who've been following us for the past couple of months. And we just want to say thank you guys for joining in. Thank you guys for sharing. And it's a pleasure for me to be here again, another Sunday afternoon, sitting in with two Olympians. I'm the lucky one here, Inez. I always get to sit in with the Olympians. So we just want to welcome you to the platform. And you have done so much for the sports of athletics. So, we're going to let Ian take it away. And as he said, he's going to start off with prayer. So, guys, just sit back, relax. And it's going to be an interesting afternoon when we're finished talking to Miss Inez Turner. Welcome to the platform.
Thank you.
All right. All right, guys. I want to say a word of prayer. It's always in my thoughts and mind to do this, but sometimes I get too excited. When the program started, I just keep going. So we're not going to miss this one today. So, Heavenly Father, God, we're so blessed. We're so honored. We're so happy for the gift of life. We're so happy that you're able to bring us here today to just talk about our past, dear God. We want to share our testimony to others, dear God. We want to continue to do the work, dear God, to upbuild the kingdom, dear God. So right about now, dear God, we're asking you to guide us with the Holy Spirit. Help us, dear God, just to have a great Sunday conversation, dear God. We're praying for all the viewers. We're praying for everyone that might watch this program live or afterwards, tomorrow, next week, next year, dear God. But we hope that we may say something that may inspire someone, dear God. So, Father Jesus, as we're about to have a fun evening, we're asking your presence to be felt. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Great stuff.
All right. Uh, all right. So, guys, I know you guys been waiting over the last 2 weeks. When I first made this post about that, legendary Olympian, Penn Relay Hall of Famer. She's now transformed her career into coaching, and she has continued her legacy right now. So we have so much people that was looking forward for this program. So we're just gonna go get right into it. So as usual, we all just want to get back into the history and the roots. So my first question is, obviously everyone know that Inez went to Veer Technical, but we just want to know about to tell us about our community where she was originated from, and just to tell us about what life was like, just growing up and in her community with her siblings and her parents, just to give us a little background of where it all started.
Sure. Thank you guys for having me, and I must say, God bless you guys for being on programs like these. It's especially in times like these, where a lot of people have to be at home and all that good stuff. But it's very inspiring. I've been watching you guys, and I pray that God will continue to guide you guys' steps. I'm just gonna come raw, very much raw, from my heart, because I know there's a lot of youngsters out there that want to know and hear all this. And so I thank God for the privilege for this platform today that I can definitely share. My community, when I grew up in my community with my siblings and lots of different youngsters, but it was like where we were living in this one tenant home. And remember, we used to share. I'm gonna say it's one room, really, and just a room at a hallway, and it was four of us. It was It was a family of six, and so we were very grateful for what we have. My dad used to be known as one of the biggest farmer in the community, where we our farming business was mostly 3-month crops, and so my dad did not have any any boys at all. There's no boys in the family, so the four girls would have to take on the role of the boys. Also, to mention, my dad used to have cows and all that good stuff. So what we would have to do every morning is our main chores in that family would have to be where we go out and take care of the farming, take care of the cows, distribute milk to the community, and get ready for school. And so our typical day would be where after maybe 2 to 3 weeks out, when my dad just wake us up and tell us to go take care of the farm, I noticed something, and I don't believe my dad had known at that time why we were doing it. But for some reason, my dad would just tell us, "Girls, before you go to the farm, we want you to go run." And my sisters and I, we were like, "Go run?" But anyways, we don't argue with our parents. We do what we were told, and so we start just running. And it becomes our fun run. We start calling it our fun run because every single morning we used to wake up at 5 a.m. Now we have to start waking up at 4:30. So we'd wake up at 4:30 and we would just run the hilly terrain of Trelawney, from my district, Littriel district, close by Waitabit and all that stuff. We used to run around Backwood and Wire Fens and Albert Town and come straight back to our place in Littriel and then go straight to the farming. And so, God knows what he was doing, because from then we start going to small meets at school. We used to have sport day. You remember her sport day? We would call it sport day, where we have different houses running against different houses, just different groups running. And so at that time, we just used to find out that's the time we found out that we were great runners. And I cannot forget my my all age teacher, Mr. Henry. God bless his soul. He's gone on to heaven, but he was the one that truly started me. He was my first coach. And he would just used to just tell us to go run. He would send us back to our community when it's sports, when it's PE time. He would just tell us to go run, go pick a tree to make sure that we went to where he sent us, and then come back. And I used to just kill it. My sisters and I would just kill it. And of course, we did have some other youngsters in the community that we turn out to be great runners, and it's just a joy. It's just a great story.
All right. So yeah, we're just gonna go flow. So I just want you to tell us, you just introduce your parents, their names. Just want to recognize your parents,
Sure.
by their names, so we know that where the roots is from.
Well, my dad, Arthur Turner, of course, one of the biggest farmer. Everybody knows who he is. They call him Junguman. Got to mention him because when I said my college teacher was my first coach, really and truly, my dad was, because he was the one that introduced us to running. And then my smart, nice mom, Bashtina, she's living with me, and just love those two people.
Oh man, awesome. So I know that I just said starting out in the community farming, all of that stuff, got to be just really, watching your parents and try to help them out in the farming. So, what type of crop did you guys farm?
Cabbage, carrots, callaloo, lettuce, onions,
Okay.
all those
All
things.
right.
Of course, we don't leave out the yam too. It takes
Okay.
longer, but there's yellow yam and all that.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Excited story. Over to you, Ian.
As I'm listening here, I really love the way we started, in terms of her community and the way she grew up. Now I'm seeing where the hard work begins, with her athletic career. We have seen you blossom over the year, just like a flower, just blooming every time you hit the track. And I see where that comes from, the farming, with your parents. But could you tell us what it was like now as girls working on a farm? Because we're accustomed to the guys on the farm. But Ines, could you tell you how it felt to be a girl, but now on the farm, milking a cow? Can you milk that?
See, I would not give it up for anything, because that's what makes us who we are. And I used to think that my dad was just being cheap, because he would not buy any machinery at all. We have to do everything manually. So I have to go back a little bit. So my dad used to have drums. You know what the drums look like? The barrels. He would just place in the farm. And so we would have to take our little buckets and put it on our heads. And after our fun run, I'm talking about, we would go to the field. So what we would do to ease the pressure sometimes is after school in the evening time, we would go to the farm, to the stream, get the water and fill up those barrels, so that when we finish our fun run, we would just take one trip to the farm and then start watering those 3 months crap. We have to water them until they rise. So it was a good month or so that we have to take these things to the farm. And not to mention, after that, our work did not finish. We have to go and help to get those ready for the market. So a typical day in our lives would be where we get up, we do our fun runs. We may run 5 to 6 miles, maybe more, of hilly terrain in Trelawney. And then we would go to the field, and that takes maybe another mile and a half. So you're looking at what, 6-7 miles already. And then we would go to take care of all those water and everything. Maybe it would take another mile, and then we have to run to the cows and milk them, distribute the milk. It takes another maybe mile or two to get to the customers. Then we would have to run back to the home, get ready, get her breakfast real quick, run to school, which is a mile and a half, 2 miles away from home. And then as I said, my dad is not going to give us no money for lunch money, because he said, hey, I plan food, so you have to come get your lunch. So what we would do is run back to the house at lunchtime, get our lunch, and run back to school. And mind you, sometimes my dad and my mom, they are busy at the farm, so we don't have lunch when we get home. What I would do is go home, grab one of my mom old dress, climb a banana tree, or go to the farm, dig a piece of yam, cook real quick, and this is in an hour, go back to school, and I was ready for school. So you're looking at almost 13 miles per day.
All right. Yeah.
Inez, listen to your story already. Got me going, man. This was discipline.
Listen.
I don't know, but I need to know probably some young there, some challenges that face as a lady girl. 4 ladies in the house. What were some of the challenges you will face? Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Are you
We are
hearing me,
hearing
Ian?
you, but you're still freezing up a bit, and yeah, but you're delayed a little bit.
Inez?
Yes.
Yeah. Could you tell us some of the challenges you face as a teenager growing up in terms of?
Well, as I said, we were poor. We didn't have much at all. But I am going to be honest with you, and this is so true. When it comes on to challenges, I would say yes, we did have challenges where we didn't have as much as others. Like, we didn't have the nice shoes, the nice clothing, but we still wear shoes and clothes with whatever our parents have. As I said, they go to the market, they would buy, clothing and shoes. It may not be the Nikes or any of those. I never know what no name brand is until I start running, to be honest with you, and still I start going to Vertec, but with those challenges, when it comes on to us not having, we were happy. The type of caliber family that we were, the type of atmosphere, first of all, the biggest thing was we didn't look at those anything as challenges. We look at it as, hey, this is to make us better. Whatever we're going through when we don't have, it's going to make us better. Whatever is going on, God is going to bless us. Yes, we used to have to go to the farm, where others didn't have to, but it was just our lifestyle, and we get so used to it where it becomes just blessing in our lives. Like, okay, this is what we have to, this is our life. And I truly believe that the life that we live, it was ordained for us to live that life, because just coming up to my growing up as adolescent and coming up in my adult life and seeing the blessing that God has. It's like my steps are ordered, our steps are ordered, and so it's just truly something that I wouldn't give away for anything. Yes, sometimes other kids would look at us like, okay, they don't have anything or and stuff like that, but the thing that sustained me was the fact that my parents grew us up in church, and so the church life and the teaching of what you don't have, you don't worry about. What you have, you thank God for. If you have, I remember we didn't have money to buy meat sometimes. Yes, my dad used to plant a lot, but we have to pay rent and all that stuff. And so my dad we used to love, maybe, hey, can we get a piece of chicken or something? But we used to have to eat what was there in the farm. And I truly believe that also, as I look at it, eating a lot of vegetables and fruits and all that stuff, that's what makes us strong.
Man, I'm just so happy to hear this conversation going the way it's going. Because right now on the chat, our audience, we have some of my agriculturalists. We went to an agricultural school. I actually went to Case College of Agriculture Science and Education. And right now I see Raymond Knight over there. I see Mr. Brighton over there. And then from St. Elizabeth, we are seeing Mark Senior and Dennis Blake. They know too well about agriculture. So I just want to ask you, how did this background in terms of the agriculture help you with your athletics career?
Whoa. Let me tell you something. First of all, the things that were cultivated, okay? The cabbage, the callaloo that purge you out, the carrot that gives you good eyesight, the yam, of course, I'm from the Usain Bolt community. Really, he's from the lower Trelawney. I'm from upper Trelawney. So that yellow yam, those green bananas, that gives you iron. Um, the agricultural life, and not to mention just to walk to the farm or run to the farm. Those things make you're talking about people talking about organic. That was organic. So you get something naturally from the field. Sometimes we're hungry when we are at the field because sometimes we're there for long hours when it comes on to the weekends, and so we have nothing to eat. Maybe I know my mom is cooking, but before lunchtime we would just go pick up some carrots or grab a tomato or grab some cabbage, throw a little salt in it, just a little bit, and then hey, eat stuff raw. So it does help my track career. Those were my vitamins. Didn't have no money to buy no vitamins. Those were the vitamins.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna turn you back.
Okay.
I'll tell you something. They say eat. They say eat your food as your medicine, or else later on in life you'd have to use it as food. So Ian, back to you.
All right. All right. Thank you. So, guys, we're just going to get into a little bit. We're going to move along.
Back
So,
to
you
Ian.
guys here. Yeah. Thank you, Ian. So, yeah, we're going to move along. You guys hear a little bit about how this all started, from an agriculture family, and, it's so important to eat properly when you compete and when you're, just that. And, as a parent, your parents always want you to eat. We all like, I know for me, I used to like eating bun and bread and bullet cakes and all that, but I know that when the rice and peas and chicken or something cooked, and then my parents used to cook. My mom used to be a farmer, so she used to cook a lot of food with no dumpling, and I used to I didn't like that. I always want some flour in there, but she cooked with this dashi, yam and bado and banana, it's so but I understand now. I wish I've known at the time how what I was missing, But anyway, so we're going to talk about we're going to move along to your high school career. So just tell us all about now. How did you end up at Veer Technical High School? Because that got to be now. I know there was plenty of schools around. and I know that I don't know. I know there was a lot more secondary schools at the time. So in terms of running for Veer Technical, because you actually went to one of the most dominated high school in Jamaica, and I don't know if you know at the time the legacy of what was going on, but obviously a lot of that stuff was sprinting. But for you to go to Veer Technical, just tell us how did that come about?
Well, my all age school was wait a bit all age. And so my Dr. Paul Auden, well known name in Jamaica, one of the greatest, love him, was my second dad, one of my second dad, because I have a lot of second dads. But for some reason, this man heard about Inez and the Turners, really at the time I started it. So heard about Inez, and so he's a doctor, and his patients has a lot of patients. So one of his patient was Miss Newman. God bless her soul, she died, but it was Miss Newman, and so I got the opportunity to visit. I visited Ferncourt High School. That's where Mr. Wilson was the was the coach there. I went there and I got in, and my uniform was already bought. And I remember maybe a month or two after, Dr. Paul Harden sent to my little home in Trelawney. My one of my teacher was again his patient, and so that's how I got. She let me sleep at her house that night and took me to Christiana, to Dr. Paul Auden's office, and that's the time when he said, "Hey, you're not going to no Fern Court, so you can go ahead and sell back that piece of cloth uniform that you bought for uniform. So you're gonna be at there." And so I remember the next couple of weeks, he would invited my mom and my dad to his office, and he talks about what he's going to do and how I'm gonna get in there and all that good stuff. And that's how I got to there, and it was the best choice ever. Again, of course, I have to say yes, sir. And I remember going there, and the first person that I met was Mr. Constantine Orton. And I'm telling you, when I said he will always hold a place in my heart, because Mr. Constantine Orton, Coach Orton, is the one who is responsible.
All right, guys. Seem like we have a slight difficulty. We just lost Inez, but she'll be right back. In a few minutes. Whatever, So just stay tuned, but don't leave us. We're just getting ready to to get into this program, and I promise it's going to be a very, 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 very interesting program. So please stay tuned so we can get this thing done. And what I'm going to do, I would go ahead and we got several things here to talk about. Her high school, and we have her Hall of Famer, and we have her just competing in several meets. So just stay tuned until she come right back. We're gonna play a little. I'm gonna play a video of her in her Hall of Fame speech until she arrived back. So just hold tight, guys. Gonna share a nice video of her in the meantime.
From 1993 to 1995, winning a pair of national championships in the 800-meter run, and later ran for Jamaica in the 1994 Games from Atlanta. Turner was a well-accomplished international runner in addition to competing in the Olympics, winning a gold medal at the 1994 Commonwealth Games held in Victoria, British Columbia.
In second place is Turner, Wamuyu in third, Lightfoot in fourth, Dawson in fifth, and then Kathy Dawson of Wales in sixth place. And there's a real box now developing, and they're starting to break out and close down on the leading two. Lightfoot in third place, Mahuyu of Kenya, Dawson in fifth place from Wales, and the two Kenyans, one of them boxed on the inside, Koskai, the 18-year-old. Koskei is through. And here comes Crooks. Charmaine Crooks. Koskei in third place, Lightfoot in fourth. But Crooks under real pressure here from Inez Turner. With Koskei in third place, Lightfoot in fourth. Dawson in fifth. Then the other Australian in sixth. And look at this, Inez Turner of Jamaica is coming through to take the honour away from the Canadian. Turner wins it.
Turner topped her time of 2 minutes and 1.50 seconds in that race by posting a school record of 2 minutes and 0.27 seconds the following year in 1995, a record that still stands today. Turner was a two-time Southland Conference Track Athlete of the Year, helped lead Jamaica to a fourth-place finish in the 4x400-meter relay in the 96 Olympics, and also took home the bronze medal in the 1997 World Championships from Athens, Greece. Turner has been enshrined in both the Penn Relays and National Junior College Hall of Fames and was named ISA Athlete of the Decade for the 1980s. She has also enjoyed a high level of success as a coach in North Carolina A&T, Winston-Salem State, and Fayetteville State. She has won 9 CIAA Conference championships and has been named a CIAA Conference Coach of the Year 9 times, earning those honors again this fall. Turner and her husband Mark Adams have 6 children: Dwight Gray Jr., Dwight Gray II, Tiana Turner Gray, Kamora Turner Gray, Mark Anthony II, and Hannah Faith Adams.
I just wrote something. Okay, Master of Ceremony. I'm sorry, guys. I think I got for a little bit. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. I was able to show a nice video during the meantime. Just highlight your career a little bit regarding your Hall of Fame speech.
Sure, good stuff.
So that was good. So so what we were talking about, Coach Horton. I have the pleasure of meeting Coach at the 1992 World Junior. He was also Jamaica Junior coach. So very, very humbled. And I just know that you were just easy to communicate with and easy to talk with. I just love his personality. So I just want to say my condolences to Mr. Horton also, and just for him to do such a good job into molding you and to recruit you and to guide you and in everything that he has done for you and many others too. I know you have done for many others. So we want to give a big shout out to that. So we're just gonna get right into your career at Veer, because we have several things to talk about, so we just got to keep it going. So so you just tell us a little bit about you're here. How many years did you spend at Veer, and when did you actually attend Veer Technical?
Okay, I went to Veer in 1998. I think it was 1998, 97, 98. Yes, and you mean
88.
88. I'm sorry. Talking about the time when my son was born, 1988. Yes. So just got the opportunity and just very first time to leave my home. I've never gone from home before, and when I went to Veer, and I'm just gonna talk about some personal stuff first. When I get to Veer, and they showed me where I was gonna stay. Of course, the dorm was there. We got some rooms with different beds, and I find out that I was going to get my own bed. I was like, wow, I miss my family, but hey, I'm going to get my own bed. The same double bed that my sisters were sharing, I'm getting my own. And I'm like, wow, look at God. So when I got to Veer and got the opportunity, and when you see me put my training clothes on and get to the track, I am always this focused person, and anybody could tell you I'm always focused, love to smile, good personality. But when I get to the track, you will see a different Inez. Why? Because I was running for not just me. I was running to get out of a situation. I was running for my family. And so from there, every time my coach says run a mile, I run a mile, and I run a mile. I run a mile with the everything in me to make sure that mile is counted. Every training session counts for me. Whether I'm warming up, cooling down, the main workout, it is going to count for me. So you won't get any my you will know that my undivided attention is going to be in my training. Afterwards, you can talk to me because I was running for something. A lot of people see you out there doing something they don't know. I was getting to the point where God gives me this opportunity and ain't nobody was going to take it away from me.
Okay, awesome. So this is what I like to ask you now. So when you first started out, what were your favorite events? I know sometime we all thought we was better at 100-meter, long jump, high jump. What was your first events like when you started out? What do you like?
I used to love everything, to be honest with you, but
Okay,
I thought I was a distant runner because
okay.
we started when we were younger running these. All we know how to run at that time was to just go out and run long runs. So I'm like, wow, the lung capacity is there. We're like, we are ready to go when it comes on to 5 miles, 6 miles, 10Ks and all that. And we used to get a lot of background training. Mr. Anton was definitely, he will give some um mid-distant workout, but he used to definitely train as a long distant runner, us as long distant runners. Also, I have fast muscle twitch. I used to be on 4x1s, 4x2s, and of course, my time in the 400, I run a 51:38. So
Yep,
I
yep.
used to have some speed, and I truly believe that my main event was maybe anywhere from the 1500 up.
Okay.
But the good thing about that is when you love the longer stuff and then you step back down, you can tell as a coach now, step back down to the shorter things,
Short
then
things.
shorter events, then hey, you're gonna blow something up. So when they put me back to the 400 and I'll specialize in the 400 and the 800, whoa, you
Okay.
know.
All right. He was like, yeah, this is short for me. I'll be able to handle that.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right, so I'm gonna ask you another question before you go over back to Ian. So just tell us who were some of your early role models other than your coach at Veer, when you just I know the school has such a big tradition that it would be nice to know that who did when you go there, I mean, what were some of the influence, what other than as I said, I know you're driven just for success, but I know that every little bit of inspiration could help. So who are some
Well,
of your
my
inspiration?
biggest role model, to be honest with you, at that time, I heard a whole lot about Merlati.
Okay.
And I always wanted to, I always see her on TV, and she's always, they talk so much about her, and she was just a big role model in our country. And I always want to be just like her. To be honest, I learned that name real fast. And
Yeah.
I used to want to be in that spotlight, be where, oh, it would be nice if my community could see me on TV. It could be nice if I could do this for other youngsters. There's a lot like me in my community, that if I could just push myself to the highest level, and I just want to be on TV. I never know what TV was, and to watch someone like Merlene, always doing her interviews and all that good stuff. I always wanted to be like her. And thank God I got the opportunity to travel with her,
All
be a
right.
friend to her. She was such a great person. She was always a great mentor for me. And she, I remember every time we go to big meets, she would just give me a lot of her clothing. She
Oh,
was my sisters, and she used to just say, "Hey, Inez, come to my room." I used to be one of the one who could just go to her room because she was so motivated and in her own space when it comes on to her being, hey, this is what I want to do. She was such a sweet person. I could be the one to say, "Hey, this is where I'm staying. You need to come and get this after I run," and go and share it with your sisters. So, you know, wonderful person. Love her until this day.
okay. Awesome. Awesome. So yeah, I want to give a shout out to Merlene Joyce Audie. I have the pleasure of meeting her. Think 1997 for the first time, and yeah, just a perfect human being, and in my eyes, I know that she is the greatest ever born in the country of Jamaica. She has paved the way when it comes down to Olympics and track and field. Merlin Otter was the only one. Well, she's the first one to say, "Look, at least Jamaica colors is going to show." I mean, we don't, if it's gold, silver, or bronze, we just know that she has put Jamaica on the map. So
Yeah.
give her again big shout out to her, and I'm wishing her living a long, 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 long life. So one more question. Just what was the experience like at Veer going to track meets, especially going to Kingston? What was that like for you, knowing that you come from a small community and you guys got to prepare to go on a bus, away
Well, and I said I'm gonna be raw. That was just coming out of my community. I went to Kingston one time, and that one time was when I went to all age championship, and that was my first time on the stadium running barefoot and all that stuff. That's how everybody in Jamaica started knowing who Inez was, because I think I was the outstanding I was the outstanding athlete when it comes on to the all age championship that year. I think it was 1987 or 86. I start, showing some things when it comes on to my talent as a youngster at Waiterville High School, and then get to Fair and start going in on track meets, getting on the bus. I have not driven in too much. I don't know, away from taxi going to the market with my mom on buses, but to get that opportunity to be on the bus with other class teammates.
Yeah.
And to mention my teammates, we were loving people. I mean, you could not touch one of us or say anything wrong, bad about any of us. We used to be that sister-oriented family type when it comes on to Ver Tech. And so I believe the way the coaches and, of course, our late principal, Mr. Ben Francis, definitely instill everything in us to be our family away from home and to have each other's back and to be such a close sisters and brothers when it comes down to the track team. That alone helped us to be successful, because once one of us go out there and run, and every time we go on the track, we want to win something, and we want to come back to our area where we were at track meet to see the other person get back to their area on the track to run their events, and they're gonna follow that pattern. Hey, Inez just went and won her race. I gotta go do something. If they don't win, we're gonna get close to winning. And so that is how we dominate when it comes on to those years. Winning over 13 championships back to back. It's just truly a blessing. It's not just only, now I know it is not just only going out there to win and to run. We got the talent. Anybody got the talent to do it. It's just what you instill, how you motivate, what you say, what you do to these youngsters that's going to help them to definitely get to their top level.
Okay, awesome. Well, guys, I'm gonna send you over to Ian, and he'll come back. We'll talk about the girls' championship.
Okay, Inez. I know we can't talk about you without talking about the sisters, because we learn about the Turner sisters. So I'm just gonna give you a quick moment to share with us about your sisters, your siblings, and whatever athletic high point they had, you could share it with us.
Sure. So my sister Yvette, my sister that follows me, Janice, she was the one that came back, and of course, Vertec. When you get a sister, when you get someone running that well, the other person, the siblings, can run too. So Dr. Paul Auden went back and he got Janice, and then after Janice, Yvette was only 12 plus when she got to Vera, and everybody was like, oh my God, this is not right. but she was really good. But Janice came in, and I'm just gonna say I hope she's listening. But Janice was the one that made Yvette would have to keep pushing. You know, she was not as ready to go like in Yvette. She got the talent, but she was a little bit lazier than us. But because of that turn of blood in her, she definitely succeed. She made it to the world cross country championship. She represented Jamaica and the World Cross Country Championship. Of course, she was one of the dominant figure in the 1500 and the 3000 at Girls Championship. And of course, my younger sister Yvette, I would say she's one of the most talented one. She shouldn't have maybe stopped running yet, but you know she you know, again dominated at Penn Relays. She still hold the record in the 3000 in Jamaica. She also represented Jamaica at the World Cross Country Games, and she definitely was one that, you know, she went to Texas Tech, and she was one of the dominant figure there as well. So, you know, out of our little farming place in Jamaica, just like, you know, just getting up and start running. Hey, we got scholarship to the US, full scholarship. If it wasn't for our talent, hey, where would we be today? And you know, just have to give thanks to God for, you know, the story and this legacy that He has, you know, just blessed the whole family with by just using our talent and use it to the best of our ability, and be grateful for every step of the way. You know, I will just always be thankful to God for that.
Okay, Inez, in everything you do, and this is from your faith and the strength that you get from serving God, because, you know, I know we can't complete this without mentioning God in your journey.
Well, I know you cut out for a little bit, but I think I understand your question. Look, as I said, we were brought up in church, and every Wednesday night, every Sunday, we would have to attend Bible study in Sunday school. And I just want to share this with the audience. You know, I remember, as you said, what was some of the challenges. I remember my sisters and I, and again, it was four of us at the time, and we would have to go to church. I remember us getting maybe a pair of shoe, but for some reason, that shoe could fit everybody. I don't know how it happened, but it could fit everybody. So everybody would go to church with a shoe on, but the new shoe would be the one that we want our pairs to see us in. And so in our Sunday school, if we have to go to the bathroom, I remember me and my sisters just switching shoe. When one of us get up, somebody's switching the shoe to go to the bathroom. So when we get out there walking, everybody else can see, hey, we got a new pair of shoe on. And you know, that's just something I sitting here talking to you guys, just remember it. And what a blessing, you know, what a blessing. But you know, my faith, and I have to thank my mom, thank my dad, thank my whole community, thank my pastor, you know, for just helping me to know who God is. I was a Christian from I was 9 years old. And I know for sure that without Him, none of the step that I take, every step that I take belongs to Him. Because I am going to say this as a coach in the midst of my coaching, there are challenges, and there are going to be some things that come to your life that is unexpected. And I'm talking about from Veritech days until now. This journey that we're going through, that called life, it's just that, as the Apostle Paul says, when tribulation comes, how are you going to deal with it? It's not if it comes, it's when it comes. And I can truly say my faith in God, my upbringing in a Christian home, the intimacy that I have with God has sustained me.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Next question for you, Ms. Turner, is basically what sets you apart from your peers?
First and foremost, the biggest thing that I use to motivate myself to make sure that I am always on top. See, I am a true competitor when it comes on to I do not settle for less. And thank God, um, my younger years being a student athlete, from that day, that very day when I put my foot on Vertex soil, I knew what I wanted. And so I do not settle for less. And until this day, at 49, 48 years old, I do not settle for less. I always want to be on top. I'm going to be the winner in everything that I do. And it's not that I am pushing towards something that is higher than I, but I know that with the grace of God, with me being highly favored through his grace and mercies, I know that he wanted us to be on top, to get to your eyes level, whatever you do. And so the thing that separates me from my pair is that I always want to be the winner. I am going to do everything that I do. I'm going to work harder. But if I have to work harder, I am going to work harder. If I have to do more abdominals, I'm going to do more abdominals. If I have to do more push-ups that I never loved doing, I am going to start loving. I am going to start loving push-ups. And so, thank you, babe. And so, I that's what separates me. I'm always going to be the one that wants to be. I want to get to my highest level, and so my highest level is the one that is on top. So that's what separates me. Hard work, dedication, willpower, the right attitude, the right mindset is gonna get me there.
Thank you very much. So we know we're gonna have a lot of athletes listen, especially young athletes. Your message to athletes. What would be your message to young athletes?
Okay, my message to young athletes. First and foremost, you
Are you
must
able
love.
to hear me, Ian?
Yeah, we're having a delayed from your we're having a slight delay from your question, and you're hearing a slight delay too. It's going back and forth. But I'm hearing you, but you just delayed, and you're still freezing up a little bit. That so yeah, but go go ahead, Ernest.
Yeah, so my message to young athletes is, first and
I think
foremost,
question. So you could
you asked me the message that I would have for my youngsters, for young athletes, is, first and foremost, to make sure you put your whole in it. You're gonna have to approach everything that you're doing in a holistic way, meaning you cannot just have one foot in and one foot out. You have to come with the heart desire. You must listen to your coaches. You must want to win. You must want to get to the highest level. You must want to improve. And so these things comes from the heart. Okay? It's not just going out there to run with your talent, because anybody can have the talent. The talent is there, but remember what it takes when it comes on to having that, using that talent. It comes with hard work and dedication. And so you have to be coachable. um coachable meaning you have to open your mind to new things, get ready to every day be on time, get to training on time, get to school on time. Whatever you're doing, just put your heart in it. I guarantee you this. I am not going to tell you, as young as you are, that there's not going to be some challenges, but those challenges is to make you stronger and to get you ready for your next step ahead of you. And so the important thing in this is to get your whole being ready, because your whole being will get, especially using the mind, because this whole body of ours is going to stop sometimes. You use your mindset to get yourself ready. Your body is going to want to sleep in. If your coach says we have practice at 2 o'clock, hey, I need to go to an 8 o'clock class, your body's going to want to sleep in. That sleep feels good. But when you use your mind to say, hey, you better get up, old self, and get ready for this, then you're going to be fine. Just use your mind to control your body, and you're going to be all good.
Back to you, Ian.
All right, awesome, guys. We're getting some word of wisdom here. Coming from again, one of the best that ever done it. So all the young viewers, just if you could just remember that the mind is so important. You can't rely on the body to lead it, because the body, in order for the body to get strong, you're gonna, whenever you're trying to train something, it's gonna resist sometimes. So you got to know that, look, this is what it's gonna take. You're trying to get stronger. So that's excellent word. I tell myself that too. So I'm listening to you as you're speaking, because I like to hear it too. Me with my high mileage, sometimes try to run around the track. So
Can be
so
done.
so Inez, we're gonna let's talk about girls champs a little bit. So you have competed 4 years at girls champ. You also was able to represent Jamaica at the CARIFTA game during those time. And this whole legacy, it's just one of the greatest ever for the CARIFTA games. I don't know if they have a CARIFTA Games Hall of Fame, or something, but I think there's time that they need to rename one of these events. The Inez Turner 800 meter on the 18 championship, something to that effect, because I believe in celebrating people for the success, not 100 years afterwards, but the earlier it's better. So so my first question to you, tell us what was your first experience, the first time you could remember represent Jamaica at the CARIFTA game. So that got to be an experience. That probably the first time you're getting on the airplane, flying. What was that like? What were you thinking then?
If I'm not mistaken, I think it was the very first year I went to there, 88. I think it was Trinidad. I hope I'm right. Maybe I'm not right, but I think it was Trinidad. But listen, Ian, think about this young poor girl getting the opportunity to go on a plane. Look, I feel like that was like heaven. I'm like, whoa, I know this is not heaven, because I know, I'm a Christian girl, I know, but wow, I was just thinking about, just there staring at myself, pinching myself, and just, I know I worked hard, and just to watch myself though getting ready to step on an aeroplane, making my family proud, making myself proud, knowingly that I have done my part to make the team and to represent not only myself, my community, my school, but also to represent my country. It was the greatest feeling ever. And so the sweetest thing is when you get a taste of success, and I watch myself moving on that plane, I'm like, I'm going to be traveling a lot. So, getting there, I make sure that at the CARIFTA game, again, as you hear me say before, I'm going to be a winner. And the determination, because the thing is, why I know I was going to win is because I put the work in from early. and all those training from Veritech up to the CARIFTA games, I know that I was going to do well. And I know there was more trips to come.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. So yeah, so we're just gonna summarize your junior career at the CARIFTA game, because as I said, we could actually talk about this whole CARIFTA thing you know, all day. So, just thinking back, what was your best memory just representing Jamaica at the CARIFTA? Just think of one time that, that all events that you run, what was your best memory? Doing representing at the CARIFTA game?
Yeah, my best memory is just winning and winning the Sealy trophy. That's a big old accomplishment, to be the best of the best in the meet. Hey, think about it. To get that big old trophy, I still have those big trophies at home. To come home with a big old trophy like that, first time on a plane, coming home with a trophy in your lap like that. Remember the air hostess in the plane, they used to just call my name. I'm like, look at me, God. So those were the moments when just being the best of the best out of so many athletes and getting that outstanding trophy.
Okay. So I know that the first time you represent the first time you go to the CARIFTA game, you won the outstanding athlete of the meet, right?
I think I did. I think I did.
Right.
Because I got 3 of those. I got 3 of those.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, no need to single that out then. So, obviously, I was just trying to I was just trying to see if, obviously, was there any one thing that you just, that stuck out with you, at any particular CARIFTA, at the island? Was anyone harder than any of the years harder? Or, just was trying to see comparison.
I think there was a year because I went there 4 years. I think there was a year when I got a couple of seconds. I don't like being second, so I just feel like that was a challenge for me. The thing is, I think I got those 2 seconds in the 400, which I was a better 800 runner, so that was just a great thing as well. But I always wanted to win, and I know I got second a couple of times, which I didn't like. So that's the part where I was like, okay,
All right,
but still, I got the chance to go back and run on the 4x4 and get those. So I would come home. I always want to come home with all gold medals, so I would come home with two gold medals and a silver, which is a great accomplishment as well.
All right, awesome. So this is should be a George question. So coming back home to Veer Technical after doing so well, what was the reception like? How did you feel when you get back on campus?
Oh, so I am it now. I mean, but the thing is, every time I come back, the warm welcome, and our principal, Mr. Ben Francis, would always make sure that everybody knows of our accomplishments at the CARIFTA games. When we win the girls championship, we would come home and we would have motorcades. We would have motorcades through the whole city of May Penn, straight back to Clarendon and all that stuff, and it was just a joy. And those things, it wasn't just showing off. It was just something that motivates. It let you know that, hey, if we're going to win again, this is what we get. Everybody is going to know of it, and there's youngsters out there watching these motorcades to say, whoa, we want to be like that. We want to get in these buses and wave and let these people know that, hey, this is a great thing. And so I'm going to run. They're runners. We're going to run too. We want to be a part of this. So it was just a joy and Mr. Ben Francis is always making sure that at our devotions that we have in the mornings, he would definitely call us up and recognize to the whole school, so everybody in the school would know who we are. Walking around campus, they would know, hey, that's the young lady that just won, and all that good stuff. So it's how he does it to make sure. And I do the same thing with my student athlete as a coach now. I make sure we recognize, because that helps you to go and want to win more and to want you to go to give support to others. In so doing, it's going to help to push others and bring other youngsters, for tomorrow.
All right, awesome. So I'm gonna move it along because I got to keep it going. So just tell us. I wanted you to bring us back to the 1992. Well, no, probably 1990. Just gonna speed it up. When you was able to represent Jamaica in Bulgaria at the World Junior Games. So now you've been dominated in the Caribbean. You've been dominated in Jamaica. What was that experience like for you to fly to Europe at the time to run against Kenyas and all these other countries? How was that experience for you? What can you remember?
Um, it was it was a great experience, to know that I'm not just going to US, I'm not just going to the Caribbean, but now I'm in Europe, you know. Again, the competitive part of it, I'm used to it. But when you're gonna be in front of this whole big stadium, running against not just only American athletes or your Caribbean people, your Jamaican athletes. No, you're running against the world. And the good thing about it is, again, the CARIFTA Games and our Girls Championship in Jamaica, it's like running against anybody in the world. So we were so prepared when it comes on to, we have great competition in Jamaica already. So it's going to make you get ready for whatever the next stage is. And so, yes, it was a little bit, whoa, look at all these people, but it didn't bother me. It makes me want to do better because I love the scenery of the support of the crowd and all that good stuff. I remember going there and running the 800, the eats of the 800. I think I got disqualified going to the finals, but I have made a mark, and my time that I run could show that I was going to be the winner in that race. The good thing about it, I had the opportunity to go back and run on the 4x4, but it was such a great experience at the junior level, and definitely helps to pave the way for what happened, at my next stage in life.
Okay, awesome, awesome. All right, over to you, Ian. Um,
First, I gotta check if you guys are hearing me.
yeah, we're looking good. We're hearing you clear now.
Okay, Inez. So at such tender age, being a teenager and being loved by the entire Jamaica, getting love from the world, performing and doing well. How did you manage to keep your composure and not, let it get to your head?
As I said before, I was young, but I feel like I was so mature into knowing how to keep myself together when it comes on to knowing God, knowing that it doesn't just stop here. This is just a tip of the iceberg. I know there's more to come. And so my main thing was to always keep humble. When you have that naturality of being humble, when you were born with the gift of staying in your place, just staying humble. That's the word. Just staying humble, knowingly that your God is bigger than where you are, and then He's starting you on the bottom of that ladder. Yes, you're moving up, but you have to always start looking further than where you are to know that the ladder does not. You can go further on top of this ladder. And so it was just my Christian life, my faith in God, my upbringing again, being from such a poor background, to know that, hey, I can get further in this. And my main thing was to know that it was to keep in mind that, yes, you're getting all these gold medals. Yes, everybody's talking about you. Yes, you're loved by everyone. But yes, feel good about it, embrace it, thank God about it, but don't get too swell headed because there's way more to come.
Yeah, that's true. Because we have seen a lot of athletes over the year, just
Yes.
just being in the limelight really get to them. They may shine
Mhm.
one season, but we have seen you done this throughout your career. You have basically have accomplished a lot, so we did not see where it had gotten to you. And another thing I want to ask now is race day, going out there to run. we know that's a different pressure when you walk on the track. Before that, starter with that gun, what's going on in your head now?
So I always try to prepare myself for that, and I know this is something that a lot of youngsters until now, especially even now, want to know. I've seen it in my athletes, some of my athletes for sure over the years. Seen it in other athletes where they're such a good runner. They train hard, ready to go. In their training, you can tell, hey, you're gonna do this, you're gonna run this time. But at race day, it comes to a point where it can psych you out. And I must say this, the way I take care of that, and what I teach my athletes, and keep on pounding into them, is that once you take it to the next level in training, see, it comes in training, and I know that yes, it's a nerve thing when you get on the track, but I'm telling you, how to get rid of that is through your training. Again, once you're coachable, once you go out there with a mindset of doing what your coach asks you to do, because see, your training is the modeling that helps you for the main day. Your coach is going to give you that background workout. Your coach is going to give you a race day workout. So your body is going to get used to how should it feel when you are on that track. So there's nothing to fear if you do what you're asked to do when it comes on to training. Training, you take it to the next level. You do have teammates that are better than you. There's time trials. There's even training sessions where your coach is going to give you a workout to say, hey, this is how 2 minutes is going to feel. I want you to go out there and do this today. And so once you do those things and get ready for race day, your race day should be just another example of that training day. Just pick that time, pick that training session, or pick that time trial where you look at it. Just keep in mind that, hey, I am going to run this 800. I'm going to run this 100, this 200. But you know what? My coach get me prepared for it. The time when you really get psyched out and you're getting to the point where you're over nervous, because you should feel nervous. Your body's getting ready. The blood is boiling, ready for you to go. But if you are not prepared for it, you're going to feel that way. When you are prepared, then hey, it's time to go. It's the same thing in training, and I've gone through it, so I'm gonna be ready for this.
All right, I know you discussed this, but I am mentally ready. How important is this for athletics to be mentally ready?
100%. You just have to be ready mentally. Again, you can be any Usain Bolt out there, but if you're not mentally ready, then it's no need, because you could be the best of the best and you go there and get last, if your mindset is not right. So again, the way you get your mind ready, the mental part, it comes through training. I definitely 100% believe that it comes through training, and it comes through, hey, when my coach gives me certain workout, coach is not gonna kill you every day in training, but when those 2 or day of the week comes and the coach line you up in training, and you get those intervals and you get those reps for you to run with the best person on the team, now you're gonna have good teammates who is winning, one of the best in the country, or go to nationals, and the coach put you with that person and said, hey, just go out there, I want you to run this time. Mentally, you put your mindset and get ready to run with that person. It's going to be the same thing when it comes on to your competition, because you're going to have the same athlete, type of caliber athletes that is ready to run, compete against. And if you do that in training, again, you're getting your mindset ready, your mental state ready to go out there and do well.
Back to you, Ian.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Inez. So we're going to move along. Pretty much going to move along. to your college career, and but before we move on to that, we have to talk a little bit about the Penn Relays. I know we talk about CARIFTA, we touch about Girls Champ. We want to talk about the Penn Relays. Just summarize, what was it like? Again, running, probably, obviously, running in a cooler weather. Obviously, to travel from Jamaica to come to the Penn Relay. I know the crowd is not a problem, but just the whole experience, knowing the temperature, and just to know that, look, there's a lot of colleges going to be here, and and all of that. How were you was able to motivate your teammate? Because now you're running relays. So when you're running relays, you got to depend on your teammates. This is not individual like at Girls Champ or CARIFTA. How were you able to motivate your teammates and to win so many titles? You have won 13 titles at the Penn Relays, and we got to figure out what you're doing with these watches now, because I know you get these watches, at the time.
But those watches, I do cherish them, and I give some of my, my high school principal wife and everybody that comes in my life, they have one of those, and that's sometimes how I say thank you and all that good stuff. But I do have a couple left. But we used to, when you think about the colder weather, and I always say this to my athletes: a champion will find ways to win. Cold weather, warm weather, whatever it is. Of course, you're not used to it, but those early mornings that your coach wake you up. Sometimes, in Jamaica, it's a little bit chilly in those early mornings. It's nothing compared to when you come to another state there's another climate. But because we are so prepared, to mentally to know that we are not just going to let Vertec or wherever they get this money from get us on a plane, travel all the way on a plane to the US and don't win. And we're not at our best. So whatever it takes, we were gonna perform. The coaches do get us ready. They make sure that we warm up in our long tights. We always get warm clothes, or track suit, and we stay in our warm long tights and long sleeves, and then we will warm up in those clothes until we get in that bullpen. We take off everything and it's time to roll. We block ourselves away from this cold weather and thinking that, hey, we're in Jamaica running. And so we have to, everybody, when you look aside right of you, you'll see people in their uniform getting ready. When you look at left, they're there. All you got to do is, I remember her coach always saying, get up, beat your legs, get ready, keep warm, do whatever you need to do. Once you're keeping warm, jump up, do everything that you need to do. You look at the other athletes and they're doing the same thing. So hey, everybody's is asked to do the same thing. So you're gonna be exception. You're gonna be the exception one to go out there and know that, hey, I'm gonna win this. If you can do it, I'm doing it too. I don't care if you're from or not.
Okay, awesome. So was there ever a time that you go to a track meet that you didn't feel good and you just didn't want to run? Did you ever have that experience where you just not feeling like you wanted to run on a day?
I mean, I'm human. Yes, I do feel maybe a couple of times that, oh, I don't feel it today. But what I learned is that I go through those in training as well. Because, especially as a young lady who, the time of the month, you know how it is sometimes. But you, again, in training, it's not every day is not 100%. And I always use this because I know how I know heavy ropes when it comes on to, when I was a youngster. And I know every time my youngsters come out there, it's not going to be the same. But what I do is to know that every day is not a bed of roses. Again, everything that you do in life, it's not always going to feel 100%. But the days when you feel a little bit down, the days when you feel like this is not my day, lo and behold, that's your day. So there are times when I'll go to track meet and I'm warming up and I'm not feeling it, but those are the times when I switch back and be like, okay, I'm gonna have to do this anyways. So might as well I do it the right way. If I run, let me run right. If I warm up, let me warm up right. Whatever it is, go away. I'm gonna do this. And you psych yourself to the point where you bring on that positivity. You talk to yourself because you're there, you're running. Hey, they travel you on this bus, they pay for you, they give you all this meal and all that stuff. You're not feeling it. Come on now, let's go. Let's go. You got this. And so some of the days, those are the days that sometimes I get my PRs.
All right. Yep. That's excellent. I've read a quote that from Edwin Moses that says, there's days when you feel good and you don't run well, and there's days when you don't run, when you feel bad and you run well. So you can't go off your feeling, because you're feeling,
Yes.
sometimes you're seeing guys that they're sick, they're 50%, and they go out there and they surprise themselves. So that's awesome. So I wanted to ask you about, so after your high school career was finished, can you tell us how was the next stage of your career, in terms of going to college, how that decision was made? I know that you actually did one of the smartest thing that I ever heard of, that I didn't know, that you did not choose to come to the United States right after you graduated from high school. Can you just give us the whole philosophy and the whole, how did that actually happen?
Well, I have to give that to Mr. Paul Auden. Dr. Auden, he always again, a true figure in my life, again a second dad, making sure that my mental, my health, especially making sure that I'm going to be 100% when I get on that track. And so I remember us having the discussion when he just let me know, look, after Vertec, you're gonna get it. You're gonna take a year off. You're gonna stay here in Jamaica. And I just didn't understand. I'm like, wow, oh, just like that. And when he explained to me, he said, look, you've been running all these years. Think about it as a youngster from Vertec, 4 years, you've been going at it. You run, it's not just one event that you're running. You're running the 800, the 400 road races, 4x1s, 4x4s, all these things. You've been doing it for 4 years. And so when you get to the US, there's going to be a lot of pressure when it comes on to you using up this, you're going to have to perform. And with the type of caliber athlete you are, we want to make sure that when you get there, you're going to be doing the same thing and more. And so he definitely advised me to take the year off. And I was in Jamaica, of course, found a place for me to stay, thank God, with Mr. Senior, Danny Senior's mom. And I think it was in close to Mandeville. And, getting me a little job here and there, and do some training, and take some time off. And, I just want to thank him for that, because that was one of the best decision of my life. And so after that, when I get to the US, it was just unspeakable. It was just a time of my life where I feel renewed and was ready to take it on and just start winning. And I went to a junior college first, where we were just winning everything. Barton County Community College. Myself, my sisters went there, and a lot of Vertec athletes went there. And so it was just a renewed life for me, where I felt anew again in just getting to the next stage and taking on my next stage of competition in college.
All right, awesome. So that leads me to the next question. How was the transition for you when you get to the US now? So now that you're traveling, you're leaving Veer, you're a superstar athlete. Now you come to the US. Was the treatment, or how were you treated in terms of on the team, and how did you adjust to the different climate and the food and all that stuff? How was this transition for you?
Well, Vertec, leaving my home already, I was board at Vertec, at a boarding school. It was, of course, now you know that you were only an hour and a half or 2 hours away from your home. Now you're miles up in the here, all the way on the other side of the world where you can't see your family. You don't have money to go home every year or every holiday. And so, again, my strong faith helps to get me through those years, miss my family and all that. But the thing that I keep in my mind always is to know that I'm here to better their lives. I'm not just here for me. Yes, I'm homesick. Yes, I miss my family, but the bigger picture to look at is that I am going to better my family life. And I remember, as I get there, the coaches were very good. I mean, my Randy Cole, until this day now, he's a coach at the D2 level, and then I'm a coach at the D2 level, where we would see each other at track meets, and man, it's just a joy. That's another person that I would say is a second dad to us, because he takes us in and on that program and treat us very well. Didn't feel any way away from not feeling supported when it comes on to being a coach, coach to an athlete, atmosphere. So we got everything that we needed to succeed at Barton County Community College because of our coach Randy Cole and the assistant coaches that were there. But my main mindset was, yes, it's difficult, but it becomes a success story for me, because I was going to succeed. I wasn't gonna, because I am homesick. It's not gonna stop me. And so I remember getting my first job. As I get there, I make sure I find a job in the cafeteria, and start sending home a little money to my family. I remember my mom and dad started this 4-bedroom. They didn't have it and to finish anything. But I remember, me getting there, getting a $50 here and there, sending it home. Hey, mom, buy some blocks and do all this until I can send some money to get the for the workman and all that stuff. So it was just a straight joy. I occupied my mind and myself so much, where it becomes a routine of, okay, I'm good. If I'm not studying, I'm working. If I'm not working, I'm running. So it takes my mind off feeling like I miss my family, to the point where I want to go home, because I wasn't going back. I want to go back home. I know this was a stepping stone of getting my family to the level where they are today.
All right, well done. Over to you, back Ian.
Okay, thank you for sharing there, Inez. Quick one, because as we bring on people like you and many others that we are bring to the program, part of it is to inspire and to motivate others. So you being the athlete that you are, you're used to winning, but we know it's not always gonna be that way. We're gonna lose a race here or there. So what I want to know is, how do you deal with losing? You're used to winning, but losing. How do we deal with that?
Well, losing is not a bad thing if you did everything that you could. Um, I believe losing is that period where you are it's telling you something. It tells you that you need to go out there and work harder. You need to go out there and know that, okay, this is where you are now. You didn't win. You may be last, to be honest. You may run a time that, oh, this is where I am. So losing, it's not a bad thing. It's something that's going to help you to win. But you have to have that mindset. You have to have that push to say, okay, I need to go back and evaluate myself. Coach is going to look back and say, okay, this is where you are. Yes, you run like this because there are so many factors to losing sometimes. You run like this because you're heavy. You're running under heavy weights. You're in background season. You're not as ready as some of the other athletes. Your peak season is not here yet, where we don't even start speed work yet. This is where you are. So think about it. If you run like this, you run this time, I'm happy with this time. This is between you and your coach. I'm happy with this time. So next time you run, you're gonna see yourself winning, or you're gonna see yourself running a better time. You may not win, but it's a learning process, and it's a process. the years periodization just doesn't come where you win all the time. So it can be a good thing, but you have to be aware of where you are and know that you don't just give up because you lose, because there's a lot of factoring that's going to factor into what you need to do to be a winner. So that you got to keep in mind. And you and your coach for sure must have that evaluation to say, hey, and maybe you just had a bad day where you just, there was so many things going on and you lost that race. But again, as a true champion, with the mindset that you have, is going to help you to be stronger and to say, hey, last time I put all this on my head, I'm going to throw everything away because I work for this. Nothing's going to stop me. I'm going to go out there, put aside everything, and I'm going to win. So sometimes it's a part of your journey and how it makes you stronger. And I honestly love track and field, because track and field is not only just someone who has talent and go out there and winning. Track and field is not just going out there to win on the track. These moments, these losing moments, these moments that come, the moment when you don't feel like, it's a part of away from track in your main life journey. It helps to sustain you and get you ready. When you're putting your body through the rigorous training and all these competitions and all that stuff, it's getting you ready for real life out there, especially as you grow along in this life.
Great. All right. I hear you talk so much about your why, and part of it have to do with your parents and wanting a better life for everyone. But could you just tell the audience, our young athletes, why is it so important to have a why in whatever you do?
To have a why?
Yeah, what drive you? Why?
Okay, sure. Definitely. Again, you have to put yourself to the point where, again, I always have a why I want to do this. Why is it important that I get to this level? How are you going to get to this level? What is it going to take to get to this level? What do you have to give up to get to this level? And I always take, yes, I value myself, and I know I am the one who's going to have to do it, but I always look at I always look at it like, I can't be selfish in this. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability to get others to want to do it. So the why is for me is, okay, I have to do this for other youngsters that are coming behind me. Just an example. When I got my scholarship, first of all, let me start from Vertec. When I got the scholarship to Vertec, I have a why what I'm going to do and why I need to do this. And I did it because of my sisters. I know that if I do well, then the coach is there. They're going to see the need to go get my sisters. And I want my sisters to get this opportunity because it's going to help my sisters and it's going to help them grow. It's going to help my family grow. And we also look at other youngsters in the community. If I shining on to see people who that are in my shoe, who's poor, who's coming from somewhere that they need to get this upliftment, they're gonna help. They're gonna want to come and shine. They're gonna know that, hey, Inez went and run and do all this. We can do this too. So I always keep those in mind. When I got my scholarship to the US, I did not just take it lightly. I asked myself, how am I gonna do this? The why was that there are a lot of youngsters in Jamaica and in the world that needed this opportunity. And so if I push myself, I'm just not just going to come here and use up this scholarship that is going to help me this $200,000 because I went to a school where it was $45,000 per year. I'm looking at it. I already calculated that. Whoa, all this money to get me my degree. I look at it like I am going to be the first in my family to graduate from college. I am going to be this true example. And so I did not take it lightly, because I know that when I do well, when I do what God sent me to do, it's going to be where I am paving the way for others.
Thank you very much. Back to you, Ian.
All right, awesome. So, guys, I know we're gonna move into the collegiate career. We're gonna spend not as much time, but there was one particular race that I like to show. If Ines probably remember, I'm gonna put it on the screen. I'm not gonna put the audio on there. So if if you could just walk us through the race as you choose. This is gonna be at the World University Game. So you was in college at the time, and you was selected to represent Jamaica at the World University Game. And at the time, there was a lot of expectation on you, and I wanted to see how well I'm going to ask you how you deal with the pressure. I mean, that's a question that I would want to find out, because living up to expectation is not easy. So actually, let's just answer that before I show this. How do you live up to that expectation of people always expecting you that you should do well all the time?
Well, again, with the mindset that I had, was I hold myself accountable. I'm going to say this, to want to win, not people first. I look at me first. What do I want? How am I going to do this to show the best of my ability? Again, to live up to that expectation, I always put me first. I always tell myself, as I said before, I do not want to settle for less, because I know the less are average. I know that is not the highest of God, of what God is as had ordained for me. So I want to be always put myself in the point where I want to be that winner. So I prepare myself for that. Is it always going to be to the point where you're always winning? And no, but at least to live up to that expectation. If I lose, I know why I lose, because it may be where it was just not my time, and it wasn't a learning experience for the next race to come. So to live up to that expectation, yes, I always feel good. If win, lose, or draw, I feel good about what I do, because I all know I always get in there with the best mindset and to the best to I always go and push myself. So if I lose, I always understand that, hey, I'm gonna brush it off, and they may be like, oh, Inez didn't run well that day, but hey, I know it was just preparing me and getting me ready. Because if you should win everything at all time, what are you gonna work on?
Okay, awesome. So when you have a good performance, I know it's kind of in high school, it might not mean anything different, but as you get older, when you get a good performance, how do you celebrate a good performance on a personal note?
I first of all celebrated with God, for sure. I always go on the back scene to thank my God, and maybe grab a teammate or grab the whole team or whoever is there, and I'm gonna pray, because I know that it's just a great feeling that you're celebrating something that you work for, and not only work for, but it's because of the grace of God. Why that come through. So I always thank him first, and just that joy that it gives me every time when I win, every time when I watch that medal around my neck, when I see the joy of uplifting somebody else through my winning. It's I celebrated, I smile and do all that, and I go back to the drawing table. And yes, all this winning doesn't mean anything until the next race comes. So, always the end of the day is feeling good, enjoy yourself. I did not do too much. I don't go to no party or anything, but I will be there making sure that we celebrate with our teammates. We will be there, Go back to Veer Tech. Maybe sometimes I cook a lot, So those are some of the things. Our coaches, I remember Mr. Orton normally always have a special thing where he would have some mix up dragon or something, some go to Clarendon and get some big fish, and hey, we're gonna celebrate. So he would just make sure that that happened. So it was just something that hey, I'm gonna win again because I want some more of this food.
All right. I'm gonna stream the this World University game that you actually took second place. It's not gonna be any audio, so feel free to chip in. Um,
Amy, I remember. I haven't seen that race in a while. Really, I didn't even know it was out there.
yeah, so I know it's a long time, but
Yeah.
just as you watch the race, like I know it's hard. You're making several things, but coming through the first 400, do you kind of what were you possibly thinking at the time? You realize that were you just running for the win? Were you concerned about the time, or you was how? Say if you what's the best you could take us back?
I think I was feeling out. I was trying to feel out. I haven't seen these girls. I haven't run with them before. I think I was just feeling out the race itself. And I think I did some mistakes in that race because I was boxed in. If you notice, I shouldn't be boxed in so much. Obviously I have the speed because I came back and got second. At one point I was at third place. I shouldn't be in that area that much. I should maybe get out and stay on that second. The good thing about running the 800 is stay in that lane and don't give it up. They go, you go too. And so I think that comes under experience. I think I needed more of. I wasn't that experienced when it comes on to running with that new group or whatever it was. I just think it was where I feel them out too much rather than just going out there and run my race. Because maybe it's another strategy that I was using because I used to run a lot from the front. And I know a couple of my coaches were saying you can use other strategies as well. So maybe it was when I was trying to use another strategy of coming from behind, which I don't do well when it comes on to running like that. I'm a front runner. I'm going to get out there. Hey, catch me if you can. That's how it is. So that was another strategy. Maybe I used that. I was working on that strategy. So, again, I know Amy. She was very good. But I could take her out, and I take her out a couple of times still. I remember at the 2004, 2005. Was it 2004? No, not 2004. 1995, 94. I think she was in the races when I won the NCAA back-to-back title. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Wow. Wow. Well, that's awesome. Thanks for reliving that moment. I know that it wasn't you didn't cross the finishing line first that day, but you ran so many races. And that was also anytime you get a chance to represent your country, and you bring home a medal, I think that that's very important. So we want to congratulate you on that. So we're going to move along. Just to summarize your collegiate career, we know that, as I said, you have won for Texas State University. Just want to also ask you, why did you choose that university after been to college and been the high caliber athlete you have? Obviously, it was a great decision, but at the time, how did you complete that puzzle to say, you know what, this is the coach and the university that I want to put my career in?
Well, as you know, I was recruited by a lot. I mean, I could go to any school, especially after what I've been doing. All the big schools in the U.S., they come after me. But I remember again getting the advice from Dr. Paul Auden, and I talk to him about a lot of things when it comes on to my track career, and we definitely research everything before I go to make the decision to go to school, and we talk about, of course, I went back to Barton County and I was running a lot again because we win championship. That was another school that's like Vertec, where we won a lot of championship, and I was running a lot too, 400, 800, 4x4, all the 1,000 meters indoors and all that. Still hold a couple of records there, but I remember I run a lot there, and I remember Dr. Paula and said, look, you need to go to a school where they're not going to be concentrating on winning championships. You need to go there go to somewhere where they're going to you can get a little wriggle room as well. And so we researched Texas State University. When we researched Texas State University, we found out that there was a Russian coach there. I want to get to the next level, and I didn't want to run everything. I was quick, so I know I could be put on 4x1s and all that stuff. So I wanted to really concentrate on my individual events, winning. I want to make history. I want to be the first to, and all that stuff. And so we researched Texas State University, and we found out that, hey, you know what, there's no female winner yet at the NCAA level. There's a good coach there who can take you to the next level, and it wasn't going to be a lot of pressure in winning a team title and all that stuff. So those were some of the decisions that we make to go to the school. When I got there, oh, let me tell you something. I was treated really, really good by the coaches. I wasn't being pressured too much until it was just our championships. But I got the opportunity I didn't have to go to every meet. I remember they sat me out the first indoor championship, but I did get the opportunity to go represent my country. So I was just working, concentrating. I think that's the time when I got 8th in the world at the World Indoors Championship in Paris. I think that's when I did very well. I got the rest and was ready to go. I was running very well in the world at that time. So that was just some of the opportunities and the decisions that we make to go to that school. And I love that we made that decision. I love the school. I just got back last year from getting inducted at the school, and will always hold a special place in my heart as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. That was a great speech that you gave, and it was really an honor for you to go back there. All right, over to you, Ian.
Thank you. I'm learning so much as I sit back here and talking with two track star. All right, Inez, I know you speak highly of your coach, and you're now a coach yourself. But to our athletes, how important is it to make sure you choose the right coach?
It's very, very important. That's a career right there. I thank God for the opportunity that He gave me to go back and give back. I did not look at myself as coach, to be honest with you, until God says you got to go back and you got to give back. And so it is truly important that our youngsters choose the right coach, because I look at coaches as the mentors who help you to the next level, especially in your track career. And again, not only in your track career, but your career for life, because you're seeing that coach every day. Um, you go to training, you see that coach. You're a track mate, you see that coach. You're going through some things, you were sharing it with that coach. And so it is important that you know who is supportive when it comes on to your well-being in everything, because it's not only just on the track. I look at it as a coach now. You got to coach the whole being of the youngsters, and the whole being is not always easy. You can have the best of the best athlete who cannot win because everything else is not going well. And so you have to be so strategic in dealing with these young people today. And so it is important that the athlete know who is supportive, who that coach is, the background of that coach, um, the personality of that coach. How am I going to get treated if I'm someone who does not like to be shout at? And I'm just speaking from, I didn't love nobody to shout at me, because I know that whatever you tell me to do, I'm going to do it. Don't shout at me. um, say what I need to do to say to me, and tell me what I need to do. I'm going to do it. But everybody does not need to be shout at. And so a lot of people may look at their coaching style, or their teaching style in a different way. And so you have to know, when you go on these recruiting trips, you ask the coach, hey coach, what's your style? How do you talk to your athletes? How do you have meetings? When they messed up, how do you do it? And so and I'm not saying everything doesn't work. Different coaching style doesn't work for different people. But again, you have different people who does things different ways. And so you have to know that this is, if I go here, you talk to me like that, and you coach me like this, then I'm not going to do it, because that's just not me. And you find a way to, you find the coach that fits your style, because that's going to make you who you are. If you go to some place where it's just not what you're used to, or what you were anticipating, then hey, just have to ask questions when it comes on to recruiting.
Okay, thank you very much. Ian, I'm going to turn it back over to you. I know you have some very interesting athletic questions, so go ahead.
All right, thank you. Because we're moving along. So I want to talk about, we got two of the most important highlights of your career. Obviously, the 1994 Commonwealth Games. You have won a gold medal for Jamaica, and also you was the first English-speaking Caribbean country person to run under 2 minutes. So those would always be in the record. It doesn't matter how many people may come up. You're always going to be the first. Just take us back. I'm gonna show a small clip of the Commonwealth Games because we want to move on time. And but I just want to show this, and then for you to take us back to that moment. What did that mean to you, just to be able to win a gold medal? Here. Yep. I'm just said it's going to be without the audio again. All right, yeah. So let me move right along. So Inez, to date, we know there's several high level competition that you have competed, but this one here stood out because you have set the bar for Jamaica in winning this gold medal, and at the time you was looking on to just keep winning medals for Jamaica because that was in '94. After just leaving high 3 years after high school.
Mhm.
Can you just tell us how was that moment at the time to go out there and win a medal in the 800 meter for Jamaica that has never been done?
Wow. That moment right there, I remember it every single day. Um, it was not just winning the medal. As you can see, I was more mature in running. I could have run way faster. I think that day I could go 158, to be honest. But it was just to make sure that I get that gold medal. And as I said, it wasn't just winning it, it was the point where I was thinking about nobody has ever done this before. I got to make sure that I secure and win this medal. But it was such a joy to know that I was the first. And from ever since I went to there, I always wanted to be the first. I tell myself I was going to be the first woman to run under 2 minutes in the 800 in Jamaica. I just didn't just, it wasn't just done just for Jamaica, it was for the whole English speaking Caribbean country. And I tell myself that I was going to be one to win one of the medal at this higher level. And thank God I did it. So, it was a great joy. It was an accomplishment that I yearned for, and just to go on that top of that podium with my flag and to hear the anthem singing, that kind of really make my journey much easier, to know that if I can accomplish this, there's going to be way more. And I can brag today, and in a very humble way, because when God do something like that in your life, you want to definitely share it. It was through the hard work, the perseverance that you put in, that lead you to moments like those. So that was something that I cherish, and I will always cherish, because I know what I did to get to that level.
Yeah, well done. Well, I have the privilege of being on the team at the same track meet there in Edmonton in 1994. I was just a little kid just leaving high school, at the time. So I'm glad that I was able to just watching, and then I pretty much, I was like, at the time, I'm like, yeah, ain't nobody could beat Inez. You couldn't tell me anything because that's all I watched from high school. So I just was expecting you to win. Pretty, I didn't know it was, it was hard work. It gets, it wasn't getting any easier as the years go on, but that was an awesome moment. I'm gonna move along to the 1996 Olympics. I know that that was your first time trying out for the Olympics, and you at the time was still doing both 800 and 400. You still was going back and forth for your whole career
Hmm.
with that, and that's pretty tough, to pretty much run those two events. And I know that obviously you want to run on the relay, so you got to go out there and try to get a spot, especially in the Olympics, because when you're a junior, maybe they'll, you'll get a spot on the team, but it's a little different when you're a senior athlete. Everybody trying to go to the Olympics. So
Hmm.
you qualified for the 800, and you was a member of the 4x4. So what was, if you could bring us back, just to refresh the viewers, what was the memory like in 1996, knowing that you was already in the United States competing and the collegiate level, and then the Olympics was coming here. How confident were you going in, and what was the experience like with the 800?
Well, I was just very, 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 very happy and grateful to make the Olympic team, because that's the highest level of competition. And so I just wanted to fulfill that dream. The end of the day, after everything and all is said and done, you can win the Penn Relays, you can be the CARIFTA champion, you can be all this NCAA champion, but at the Olympics, there's a legacy to your name. And so at that point, I truly believe, though, that I should be, at that point, really concentrating more so, preparing more so for that 800. But as you said, to be on that 4x4, you have to still run that 4x 400 as well. So when I get to the trial, I have to run both and all that stuff. And I truly believe it kind of take a little bit dim on some of the 800 running, because I was concentrating on doing both. I could save my leg to do the other stuff like that, and your mindset is like, okay, I gotta have another race after this, and so on. But no excuse, no complaints, no nothing. I was very, very happy I made the team. um it was a dream come true, and it's a dream that I live by. I look at my Olympic uniforms, I still have some of those. And when you're doing something in this life, and one will ask, and I remind myself every day, from ever since I become that youngster that runs and all that, to say, what does this life mean to you? What is your life in this life? And it's living a life of significance. And so I can honestly say I thank God for bringing me to the point where I feel good about what I've done. I believe I have accomplished so much. Is there more? Yes. But I am very happy, and really thankful, really thankful
Awesome, awesome.
to God
Uh,
for giving me the opportunity to do everything upon this till this point.
Amen, amen. Um, how was the feeling like when you guys finished fourth place, missed out on one spot of the medal? Was it what was that feeling like? I don't want to make a statement without hearing from you. I was going to say how disappointed it was, but I thought about it, that it might not be a disappointment to you.
We wanted a medal, of course, no doubt, but it gives us the opportunity again to go back afterwards, and we got it at 97 at the World Games. It wasn't at the Olympics, but it was at the World Games, which is the second highest competition. We got it, and so at that point again, it was where, okay, we missed out on this. We're gonna have to go get something else afterwards, and it was one of those learning moments, and to say, hey, it was just not our time to get a medal, but fourth place out of all this, we're gonna take it and thank God for it. So we prayed, we thank God for it. I remember me, us and my teammates, we were happy. We wanted that medal, yes, but we didn't let it keeps us down.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So as you said, you guys went on to the 1997 again. I was a member of the team in Athens there, where you guys, you know, better the performance in Atlanta, and now you guys came home with a medal. So now you're stacking up the medals. You add on to your World University Commonwealth. Now you got a World Championship medal. So I know that you probably saying, look, I'm still going to run. There's next Olympics coming up in 2000. But I just wanted to move back a little bit because in 1998, I noticed that we missed you for a little bit. Was there anything spectacular in '98 after your career was going? What changed in 1998?
So I took some time off for sure. Definitely took some time off, and I have my first child, 1998. I wanted to take a break after the Commonwealth. What was it? I think it was after winning
World Championship.
Commonwealth and going up to the Olympics and all that good stuff. And again, I said, you know what? If it was a year when we weren't really doing anything. I think it was 97 where it was kind of and I took that year off and have my first child, which I thank God for. And after that I came back, but it wasn't as the way it was before. I still was happy that I could, have a baby and still come back. I remember I got an A group in Norway. I was got on a little contract there, and I was over there running for a while. And it was at that point I was to the point where I believe that I'd done so much, and it was time to go have a family.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Well, we know how difficult it is, to have a child and come back. Over the last couple of years, we have seen a little swift with people, coming back, picking up right where they left off. But we know back in the days it was a bit more. I guess it's probably the same, but people look at it more. It was harder. I mean, you lose your contract. Now, if a woman have a baby and they have a contract, they will able to keep their contract. So
That money.
that yeah, so that was something that changed from your time to this time right now. So just move up along. So for the 2000 Olympic trials, did you actually try out for the trials to go to Sydney at that time? Do you
I think
remember?
I think I did. I think I did. Didn't do too well, but I did try out. I definitely
Okay.
did try out. I think I was. I don't remember what I was at the trial, but I did good after the baby, and feel good about it. And the good thing about it also, even after my third child, I don't know if you guys recall, but I went back to the Penn Relays in 2005 and 2006 and got my 11th and 12 my 12 and 13 gold watch, so if I should go back right now and start doing some training, I know I could be out there killing some people.
Well, that's awesome. A lot of people, I didn't realize that out of your 13 title, I thought all of them was, from high school to college. I didn't realize that two of them was
Yes,
actually,
I think
you
I
know,
did, or maybe it's two more, but I think though I know I got two championship
Okay,
from running
okay,
for a club.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, awesome. All right, so let's talk about in this segment here. Tell us when you exactly when did you get into coaching? How did that started?
Uh wow. Well, as I said, I wasn't, after my babies, I moved from New York, was living in New York 2005, and I remember moving to North Carolina 2005. And I remember the coach from North Carolina A&T. I was here. I was doing some running. Like the point was for me to be here running, and I was training, doing some training with Michael Anderson. I don't even remember the name. He used to go to Jago,
Yeah,
and
I
I
know.
was here training. And I was at A&T training, while the coach from A&T found out that I was in town, and he knows of my career when it comes on to a track person. And he called me in the office and told me, "Hey, Inez, I have a little money left, not much at all. But I know you can help my distant program." And so I got on that program, and I was just out there doing a little assistant training, being one of the assistant coaches, temp coach really, because it wasn't much. But I know I remember being there, going there for 3 days per week, and just working with the athletes. And that's when I look at it like, oh my gosh, this is great. And the athletes was moving from 10th place in cross country straight down to 4th place, and they were doing so well. And just taking these athletes from scratch and doing well. I'm like, wow, whoa, I really love this. And I remember 2010, the coach from Winston-Salem keep on calling me. I think she's from Jamaica as well. It was St. Blake.
Okay.
She keep on calling me, and she's like, Inez, I'm not gonna call you again. I keep on calling you. But at the time, with my babies, I just didn't want to do too much traveling, and I was doing so many traveling before. When it comes on to what it is to be on the circuit, and I'm like, I travel this world. I don't want no more traveling. It's just too much. And for some reason, I went there and I'm like, I'm just gonna do this application. Don't think I'm coming. I'm just gonna do the application. And because that was requiring a full-time, position. And I went there and I did the interview. So I'm like, whoa, why do I do this interview so easy? Why did it sound so easy? Why am I just answering questions and feel passionate about everything? And for some reason, when they called me in 2 weeks and asked me if I would accept, I couldn't say nothing but yes. And I'm just saying that to say this. When God has a plan for you, when God says, go back and give back, when God says, I have written your journey and here it is, then you cannot stop yourself. So I went there, and the rest was history. I've never been a head coach before. I was at A&T. I didn't have no office, no nothing to say. Learn requisition, learn travel, everything. Learn how to do this. I didn't. And so when I got there, I was in a couple of months. I became the head coach. And the other coach left, and I became the head coach there. But I was like, am I ready for this? But when God already prepare you, and you don't know how prepared you are until God says, hey, go launch out. And so I was there, and the first thing that happened to me, I got there on the 10th of I think it was in 17th of May, and by August I was the head coach, and by September, October, I won 2 championships just like that. And from there on, ending up winning 9 championships at the school, and was the winningest coach there, and making all these history. And I'm like, whoa, there's nothing, it's nothing but God. So I look back on what I used to do as a youngster, from my little poor community straight up to Tech, straight up to my collegiate career, straight up to where I am. And I'm like, this was God. So
Amen. Amen.
And I keep on just closing my eyes and working hard, and the same work ethics that I had as a student athlete is the one that I can come and pour in the every advice that my athletes need to succeed. And when God give you something, just understand that you cannot stop it. Not even you can stop it. So again, just being grateful.
Amen. Amen. So you have done such a awesome job at Winston-Salem State, and then so your career is going good, and this is now where you got another call to to take over a program that was just started. So you got into Winston-Salem State, but then after you've been doing so well, here goes another opportunity come. There's a new program in the school, the Fayetteville State University, the Brancos. They have decided to start a program. So you have got the call, and I'm sure. How difficult was that for you to think about it, and what was the motive? What was the goal of you leaving an established program, going to a new program that starting from scratch?
Well, it was very difficult, yes, because I have all my athletes at Winston-Salem State, and I look at it as a program that I built. As soon as I got there, we were winning championship. It was a program that I could close my eyes and still keep on winning. At that point, I recruited athletes that was gonna win championship for the next 4 years. So it was an easy peasy piece of cake for me to sit back and feel good about the next 4 years winning championships, because I know we have the athletes for that. And with the type of coaches that I was going to put in place and all that good stuff, I know we got it. And but my goal when I heard about this program at Fayetteville State, I look at this Fayetteville State and I thought about it, and I'm like, I can be here easily winning. I can be here feeling comfortable, but I'm to the point in my life where I don't want to be comfortable. Just getting up and feeling easy doing something. I want to be challenged. And another thing that I looked at was these youngsters at Fayetteville State. When I look around the surrounding area, Fayetteville State does not have a track yet. Still doesn't have a track. I'm leaving a place that did have a track. Look at the surrounding area. You got so many high schools around. Where does these athletes go when it comes on to their talent? Where do they take their talent? I look at the furthest college. It was like maybe an hour, 45 minutes away from where they were. Fayetteville State can build up these athletes, these local athletes. I look at so many high schools in the area, and I know for sure at the time that God is calling me, and I have to go. And so I look at my career. I look at me as someone who started from scratch. Somebody took the time out to come get me from where I was and to uplift me in a community that I needed to move from, and to go in and get it started and get the others in my community to pull up themselves. And I look at these youngsters that they need a caliber program like what I was going to put together. One thing I know of myself is that I wanted to be the first to do something. I wanted to be a part of it. I love to be part of history. I love history, because when you make history, ain't nobody can take that away from you. And as I said, why are you in this world? You are in this world to live a life of significance. When you're done and finish your race, and you hear, well, good and faithful servant, when you hear, I've done all that I could, that's the feeling I want. When I'm done, I need to know that I've done my best and there's nothing else that I could do. So I took myself up and I went to Fayetteville State, and I built this program from scratch. And the first year, remember, I left Winston-Salem and my first day was in July at Fayetteville State. No time to recruit nobody, no nothing. But I remember I went there and I saw two athletes that could really potentially do something at championship, and just being there, sending out talking to the media guys, sending out words to say, hey, we got this, we got time trial, and we use some athletes at school, and we use people from scratch. And I remember getting athletes who run 6 minutes, 6 something, and athletes run 2:40, and take them from nowhere to, hey, you are going to be, this is what you can run. You trust me and believe in the program, it's going to happen. And just like that, we won championship. In 2 months there, we won our first cross country championship, and here we are. We got 3 cross country championship, and it's history in the school, and we won our first indoor championship. Oh, I'm about to cry. And God is so good. But here we are. We won our first indoors championship this past February, and who could it be but God? Hey, I'm saying this to say, when you are a righteous person and you are ordained to be blessed and you are highly favored, everything that you touch, ain't nobody can stop it, not even you.
Amen. I'm just so excited. I know Ian over there. I know he's super excited.
Oh,
Ian,
thank you.
I just want to highlight this thing here from the Broncos, Ian, at Fayetteville State University. What Inez have done for this program. She has the work ethics that all she wants is people just to show up at the track and dedicate themselves. Yeah. She just want them to show up at the track and have 2 legs, and she'll do the rest. So
You go, man.
So that's just incredible to see what type of coach. Inez Turner the first. She's the type of coach that willpower and drive that she has. Is not the most talented athlete. It's just the athlete that's willing to trust in her and believe in her. And this is what she's done. And as she's saying, if this is not God, it can't be nobody else. I mean, because this is a living testimony that there's no way you leave a program. You just go to another program that just started, don't have no athlete. And 2 months afterwards, they beat the other school and win the title. So I mean, I'm going to show this in, and I'm going to hand it over for you to go to the final thoughts about this year. I'm really inspired by everything that she has done, and I wish that we're gonna have to somewhat find a way to do this again when she wins some more titles.
Congratulations, this is your 10th CAA Coach of the Year award. So talk about this award.
Yes, the first 9, it was great. This one is sweet. And first of all, I just want to thank God because I left Winston 2 months ago, and in 2 months here comes the history. And so this means a whole lot to me. And it's not only for me. I feel good for the athletes. I really love it for our athletes that we're building in the next year. If we did this in 2 months, now I know there's a bigger blessing for us to come. And so I just want to thank God for all this.
And you mentioned history, then this is history. This is the first CAA Cross Country Championship for Fayetteville State University.
Isn't this awesome? I tell the girls from day one that they are going to be the team to beat. And of course, as I mentioned before, 2 months, in this, and taking athletes from scratch, athletes who never run cross country before. And here we are winning the CIAA Championship 2017. It's just truly a blessing. And I just have to thank everyone for their support, from the Chancellor of Fayetteville State University, who was very welcoming and warm, to AD Bennett, and to all our administrators and the whole community at Fayetteville State. I just want to say thank you for the support.
Okay, now I got to say it. This is the first one. What's next?
The next thing is big time recruiting and more to come.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, over to you, Ian.
Hey, Inez, I can see the on your face there, man. You know, you could see the joy, you know, and I think it's a joy, as you say, not just of winning, but to see what God have done for you along your life journey. It's like He has allowed you to excel, you know, from being humble. You have shown where you have been humble from the beginning, you know, from milking the cows and the farm and everything to where you are today, seated, you know, as a top coach, taking over a brand new program, bringing them to winning championships. You know, that is just great accomplishment. And we just want to say that we are proud of you. We're proud of the journey, you know, that and the race that you have run, because you're still running some serious race. There's more to come. I hear that part pretty good, you know. But what I want to ask quickly is, now that you have stepped into the coaching arena, what are some of the challenges that you're faced with as a coach?
The main thing is to get the athletes on board. I think that's one of the main challenge when it comes on to us coaches on a whole, is to get the youngsters to believe in themselves. Yes, you have a lot that believe in themselves, but you still have some that, especially as we talk about taking athletes from scratch, you see some potentials, but maybe they don't, you know, coach, I don't think so. But, you know, once they buy into your program, and you got to be so strategic in getting them to buy in and to let them know that, hey, I've done this before and you're no different. Just come in and believe and it will happen. And, you know, just to make sure that they know that they can be great. For example, walk-ons. I love to give walk-ons opportunity. I will never turn away a walk-on. You know, these are athletes without scholarship or who just want to come and try out and all that. In my career, I've had so many walk-ons who become athletes that are going to nationals and are from no scholarship to full scholarship. And so that's the type of, you want to have these athletes understand that those are the testimonies that you give to the athletes that are kind of iffy, because you do have some of them that is iffy, like, I can't do this, coach, but God has blessed you with that opportunity, that walking that journey to show them that, hey. And so to get the athletes to know as well that they can get to move. Some of the athletes, because you know you have some that believe, there's some that is still iffy about, coach, can I really get past all this right here to get them to the highest level? Because my main thing, it takes a little bit more work, but my main thing is to let all the athletes that comes through me, that God has given me the opportunity to be mentoring, for them to taste the highest level. I don't want you to just go 75%, 50%, 75%, 80%, 90%, 95%. I want you to taste the full 100, because when you do so, you're going to continue wanting to taste the full 100. So, you know, the little challenge is to get them to that, to get them to believe that I can get to this. And believe me, when that happens, that's why I'm still in this business. I've seen athletes who, you know, you got some of these youngsters, again, you have to coach them in a whole way, the whole holistic of everything, the whole person, because one part of it is not going to do it. And the challenge is to get the whole body, the whole being of that person to buy into everything, and not just on the track, but to know that after the track, the way you approach your schoolwork, the way you approach life on a whole, the way you approach this is going to help you to get you sustained for life. And so, you know, it's just to and once they get there, they're there. But again, I think I'm truly strategic, and I know a lot of coaches are, and a lot of, you know, leaders are, and that's the main thing, is to get them to buy in and get to know that they too can achieve to the highest level, and that's to that 100% level.
Great. You know, I gotta get something else out of you, Inez, because we see with track and field, you're great at it. Your coaching, awesome. So the question I want to ask you, if you did not do track and field, what else would you have done?
Actually, a business person. I entrepreneurship. I think I would be. I cook real good. One of my job was cooking and selling as well when I was before I got all this full-time job. I was cooking and selling very well. I cook.
Wow.
I can really cook. One of the thing that my athletes get the opportunity of is when they win championship. That occasional meal every year they got occasional meal. And believe me, when Coach Turner put her Jamaican jerk sauce together, because I do have my own jerk sauce and I make from scratch, and I make that jerk chicken, that stewed chicken, that curry chicken, that Jamaican punch, that cabbage and rice and peas. You don't listen. Hey, you gotta taste my food sometimes. I remember having the first track meet at Winston-Salem, and one of the fundraising thing that I did was cooking, and you should see my line of people every year for 3 years. They would come and just want to buy food. So I have a minor in business and I use that very well. I remember, from a very, very tender age, I started my business by selling coconut drops. And I was one of the richest kid in the family, where in the community, where people just come and borrow money and give me money on top of my money and all that good stuff. So I could be a very good business person.
Wow. I want to say something here. Your lifestyle had really kind of mirror along mine. Did not do much of the track and field. But when we think about it, where you're coming from, the farming community, I've done farming to another level by going into college. And at the end here, talking about crying water on the bucket. So you're a down-to-earth person.
Yes,
pulling up the drums. I'm used to that. That bring back memory for me.
Yes,
coconut drops. My mother makes so much coconut drops and everything. Now you're talking about food. Ian, we gotta get to Inez Kitchen, man.
Man.
That may be the name of the business, Inez Kitchen, man.
Yes, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. No
That's
doubt.
a franchise right there. Yeah, that's a franchise right there.
I'm gonna turn it back over to you, man.
Man, Inez, I'm just so happy that I know that there's a couple books in you, so we're just gonna go ahead and declare that in the name of Jesus, that we could see that your story should be in all schools in Jamaica. Going through the classrooms, because I never actually, as I said, your drive and I could feel your drive and your determination. And it's unbelievable. I thought that I'm a driven, but I'm just saying that But so how does you been driven so much? How does that make you a better coach? Because I know that not all athletes turn good coach, but I know that athletes can be great coach because they have the ons and ons in experience when it comes down to that.
Yes. I believe you got great coaches that weren't athletes and all that, and I understand that. But I can speak to me as a student athlete, as an athlete who was in that shoe before, who wore that shoes before. I truly believe that if you were a true person and you got in this opportunity of coaching, then you kind of know the ropes. When your athlete saying, "I'm tired, coach," when when to push and pull, when to say, "Hey, give me 2 more and go sit down, go relax, go do your abs and all that," or "You got 4 more because you got this." And so when to the feelings, and how to get them to the next level. You've been there before. You truly been there before. Your desire for them, you've been there, okay, and you have that desire, but your desire for them just get close. If you don't get to it, but just get close to what I want you to feel. And I use that concept because I remember if I said I'm going to get something, I used to say this while I was a youngster running. If I don't get to it, if I don't win, if I don't run the time I want to, I am going to be very close to it. And so that's the main thing when it comes down to my athletes, in pounding and pushing and needing the success that I know they can have, to say, just do this. Because if they don't get to it, they're going to be very close. And next time around, they're going to get to it. So the drive and the push that I have from everyone that was a part of my journey, from the Mr. Arden, the Dr. Arden, the Ben Francis, all the teachers at Vertec, all the teachers at Wait a Bit All Age School, all the teachers at Barton County, all the coaches at Barton County, all my professors at Texas State, all my coaches from Texas State, and everybody that comes along my journey, and everybody that used to help me out, from Mr. Wayne Chen, I have to say, the one that helps me with my nutrition. I remember I used to just walk in that man supermarket and he would just say, Inez, just take your stuff. I remember my parents didn't have the money to buy all these nutritional Lasco and all that stuff, and oatmeal and everything that was going to help me. He would just say, Inez, every time you come down for every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, when you come from there, you know that you need to come and take up your stuff. And that's just, those are the things that I it's just, it's just so much gratitude to all these people, and those are the things that keep me going.
Amen. Amen. To God be the glory. So I got 2 more questions, and we're gonna let you go. I know you've been very patient and been very detailed, and you've just been awesome. Can't thank you enough, already, for sharing your Sunday evening with us in tonight. So big question, would you I know that you have been successful as a coach and an athlete. I'm just very curious about opportunities to work with the Jamaican Federation, the J3As, the JOA, coaching, helping out the team. I know that the middle distance in Jamaica, on the female side, it's not bad. It's okay. Just say okay. On the male side, we're still just started. I mean, I don't know, ever since, and that's a whole nother story. I'm not going to get into all the details, but the question that I want to ask you, because I see where you could be a very good contribution to middle distance and in Jamaica, coaching and working with the national team. I'm just going to say, would that be something that you'd be interested in, working back with the country? I know you got a big family, and you got a lot going on for you in terms of coaching, but I just know that you can be a contribution to track and field in Jamaica when it comes down to the national, junior, any team.
Let me tell you something, Ian. I am keeping humble, and I know I will bloom wherever I am planted. And so I am always open for my country, always. That's how I got started. I remember going to those trips, because I've gone to many trips, many national trips. And I remember the motivation and the support that you get from the coach, the administration that comes with you is very important. And yes, for sure, I know, and I'm not asking for anything, but I know I could be a very big contributor to those youngsters. They need that, and I know they have it, but you've been there, you've done that, and hey, if they call me today, I'm there. I mean, I am gonna be, I'm gonna be there because, as I said, I remember where I'm coming from, and without a Jamaica, there wouldn't be no Inez.
Yeah. Amen. Well, I just said, I just see that I'm feeling the same thing that you're feeling, especially being a woman. For the development, we know that there are not a lot of female coaches in Jamaica that coach at all. And
Mhm.
we have many great female runner, and I know how important it is to have a female, because a male cannot be a female
Mhm.
cannot be a male. I
Mhm.
know how valuable that could be. So I just want to say that, just to know that, that on you publicly said, look, you'll be interested in it anyway. And I know that there has been a new president that recently got into the Jamaica Athletic Association. So, we don't know what's their plan. We just got to wait and see.
Yes,
In
definitely,
terms
and
of.
it's a great Jamaica Athletic Association. It's just a great, it's a great thing and a great example to the world, and it's always gonna be a success. And get together and do what we need to do. Hey, can even be better.
All right. And my final question is, can you, again, not a 30 to 60-second, your highlight of your career in your mind? And, and just to say that, you know, um, what you don't want to remember for as, being that you have accomplished so much. It just, I know it's a tough question, but.
Yeah, just to highlight my career, I would say, just from being an athlete, a true athlete, a true person from within, take stuff from deep within and put it to the next level, to remember where you're coming from, to remember the journey, the people, everything that you've gone through, and to use it and sum it up and push yourself. It's something that I do every day. And I just want to be remembered as this humble, energetic, loving, God-fearing woman that all I did was my best and for the glory of God, not for self, not for nothing, but to help in the upliftment of our young people, and to have a better tomorrow of leading young people. Because, you know, and I said this to my athletes every day. I said, you may not be coaches, but you're gonna be some type of leader. And so to put in them the right advice, the thing that God sent you to do, to get the right people, like my assistant coaches, to try and always get the right assistant coaches, to make sure we have the right leaders over our young people, because they too are going to be the one that lead tomorrow's world. I just want to be remembered as a person who just did what it takes to make it a better world.
All right, awesome, awesome. And I know I said that was the last question, but I'm gonna stick a bonus one in. So just tell us, for some young viewers that might be listening right now, or somewhere, anywhere in the world, if they're interested to come to your program, the Fayetteville State University, what they would need to do, and what they would need to expect.
Well, just get in touch with Coach Turner. I'm on the website. Any of my assistant coaches, get on the school website. Just making sure that you have a 2.5 and above GPA, and course. And so I know they're kind of overlooking the ACT, SAT, but hey, still, when you get the opportunity, when it comes back, just push yourself in that. And one thing I can tell you is that the program there, this is a program. It's a great time to be a Bronco because you got the right coaches there, you got the right administration, the school is family oriented, people gonna care for you. We're gonna make sure that you succeed, no doubt. It's not only just running on the track. When you are away from us, when you're done with your 4 years, your 2 years, whatever it is, you're gonna be ready for society. And our heart's gonna be glad because we know that you're gonna leave with the right tool.
Okay. And is there scholarship opportunities available?
Oh, definitely, for sure, no doubt. There's scholarship opportunity, and I'm losing some athletes this coming season, so there's going to be scholarship available.
Okay. Over to you, Ian, your final words.
Hey, Inez, we just want to say there's so many questions we could have asked you this afternoon, and but with what we have covered over this few hours, I say 3 hours really, and we could keep going. We just want to say thank you so much for coming on here, giving up your time, just being humble and sharing the world who is Inez Turner, what make Inez Turner, and the impact that you have on the world and on the youths that you're actually taking under your wings right now in terms of coaching. But just listening to you as you speak, you're a mentor for the entire Jamaica. You are a mentor and a voice for us all, and I see you doing greater things in the future. You speak a little of the book that is coming, but I think me and Ian will have to get you back when you at least open up the first chapter. So there's so much you have to give, but we just thank you for the little time that you're able to spend with us here. And I know our audience will be inspired by your journey. And there's a lot more to come, as you would have said. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys, and you guys keep up the good work. As I said, a lot of people are benefiting from this. It's good to give back. So many ways that you can give back, and that's what you guys are doing.
All right. Thank you. And all the best for the upcoming season. And, we want to pray that God keep you and bless you and your family because you're a strong coach, that just, doesn't look like you have any kids, but, but we know that, all the work ethics and the drive and determination, that all that big smile, that you always have this big smile ever since we could see the big smile. So keep that smile going. And as I said, all the best with your family and your team. And we're wishing you all the best, and we're looking, forward for bigger things and better things in the future.
Thank you so much, and God bless you guys too.
All right. Take care. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.